This presentation is brought to you by the following. With tax season just around the corner, visit Flicka's Tax Service in Taylorsville, Mississippi, providing expert knowledge on all returns from 1040 EZs to corporations as well as payroll. Flicka's Tax Service. Call 601-785-6900.
517. And hello, Tiger fans. Thank you so much for logging on our Week 7 broadcast of NEJ Tiger Talk, brought to you by Scenic Productions, LLC.
So noticeable.
All right, and that's always understandable, but the main thing is, just getting back to practice, working on things, and getting back on the right point. So I also noticed that on the offensive side of the ball, the backfield looked differently most of the game with Zamarian getting a bulk of the carries. Was that a game plan decision due to the type of defense you were facing, or more so just precautionary for health concerns?
Well, Zamarian's really stepped up and been extremely productive for us, and we went into the game with him kind of leading the way this week. Although Tony's there and done a good job too, but Tony bummed up his ankle. He's got a little ankle or a heel problem, kind of an ongoing thing. So that's the reason that he was limited. Of course, in the second half, he didn't play in the second half, and it was, like I said, it was because of an injury. But he's back practicing and had a good day yesterday. So it's good when we get both those guys at full strength, and that helps us.
And again, listeners, I do apologize if there's any technical difficulties on our end. I mean, we're still in the growing process, so still trying to get things to where we want it to be. So, I mean, just thank you for continuing to listen, support, and just stick by us. Well, finally, Coach, this Friday starts division play when you guys travel to Richland to take on the Rangers. So, from this point, all games matter as you guys are playing for the playoffs. So, do the Tigers, do you feel the Tigers need to elevate their play to get back in the postseason, or any particular thing the Tigers need to do to get to where they need to be even more competitive in division play?
Well, like you said, this is we talk about a 3-part season: the non-division, then the region, and then the playoffs. And we obviously want to be playing really good when we hit this stride right here. It is a new season. Everybody's 0-0, and we need to be playing our best ball when we go to Richland, and I feel like we will, and come back 1-0, and that's the goal. We've got a good football team, and we just need to play in all phases of the game and prove that. And we have a couple of times. We just need to get back to doing that, and I fully expect us to Friday night.
And I believe indeed you will, Coach. I mean, I will say this: if there's anybody who has any, negative feelings about this year's football team, I think they should really consider themselves spoiled. Because I mean, look at where you guys come from last year. I mean, you guys are leaps and bounds from where you were last year. I mean, you had a good team last year. I just think they were just really young. But the every off season is a time for them to prepare themselves physically and mentally to get better. So I mean, they are light years ahead of where they were last year, and this year is actually showing on the field. Well, anyway, Coach, as always, thank you for your insight. We're definitely looking forward to the Tigers starting division play on the right foot. And listener, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to hear from our Week 6 player of the game, safety Kye Braddock. This broadcast is brought to you by Scenic Productions, LLC, and fueled by the following.
Flicka's Tax Service. With tax season just around the corner, visit Flicka's Tax Service in Taylorsville, Mississippi, providing expert knowledge on all returns from 1040 EZs to corporations as well as payroll. Flicka's Tax Service. Call 601-785-6900. Southeastern Baptist College, empowering students to reach their spiritual, academic, and athletic potential. Discover the difference at your hometown college. Southeastern Baptist College, equipping the saints.
Having AC issues? Does your vehicle no longer drive like new? head on over to Keys Automotive in Laurel. Keys Automotive specializes in repairing foreign and domestic vehicles. Keys Automotive, located at 623 Arco Lane in Laurel, or call Charles Keys at 601-649-0517. And welcome back to the broadcast NEJ Tiger Talk. I'm actually here with Kye as he earned the Scenic Productions LLC Week 6 Player of the Game recognition for his 10 tackles, 1 for loss, 1 pass breakup performance against the Aggies. And not to mention, guys, he did all of this with a broken hand. So, I mean, just a tough player. So, Kye, let's get to you. So, although you're limited to full use of only one of your hands, how do you feel about your performance from Friday?
I mean, I feel pretty good. My parents, family, coaches, they all preach not to make excuses. So when I get to the game, I just tune it off.
I hear you, man. And, when you say all those people tell you, not to make excuses, that's, I think that's about the best thing that you can preach to an athlete. I mean, okay, you may not be full strength. I mean, you may not have full use of one of your limbs or something like that. But I mean, if you're healthy enough to get out on that football field, then you're healthy enough to make some plays. Don't make excuses. Make plays. And I mean, to me, that's like the number one thing that really bothers me, especially when it comes to the pro level. I mean, it's not like it used to be back in the day, Coach. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s. I mean, you got football players get out there with hurt knees, broken ankles and stuff, and they'll still go out there and play ball. But it's like, nowadays you got these athletes, they get a little cut on them or something. There, I can't play, Coach. I'm like, no, you're a ball player. You play ball. That's what you do.
Soft society. I said I think we're getting softer, and we live in a soft society, and that's what our world's becoming to. But there's a few of us, just old football coaches, we still gonna fight that thing and try to make and produce real men. That's
it. It bothers me. They come up with one reason not to play, but can't come up with one reason to play. But anyway, that's just my take. But anyway, Kye, not taking any credit away from your defensive teammates, as so many of them, they're racking up totals in the tackle column. You got players like Jawad Jones, Cody Hyatt, Ben Knight, Jackson Flint, Lawson Monsivias, Zach Rogers, and Colton Edmonds. I mean, that's just to name a few. But your total of 71 tackles is team leading in the stat department. Talk about how that makes you feel.
I mean, it makes me feel pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my coaches pushing me and having a great team to help me.
All right, that's good stuff. Now, let me ask you this. Do you feel being limited to one hand has placed limitations on how you play with such aggression?
I mean, when it happened the first week, I had to get used to running with it, and I was a little iffy. But once I got hit it in the game, I realized that it didn't hurt, and I just turned it off during the game.
Okay, when I found out that you got hurt, I told Coach, I was like, I didn't even know we got hurt the way he was playing. I mean, the way you just roamed the field, I mean, you tackling the way you tackle. I'm like, I never knew the guy was hurt. I started wondering, did he even realize it was hurt? But, sometimes in the game you got so much adrenaline going, you really don't realize you have an injury to maybe after the fact. Well, Kye, talk about the rehab process and the healing process. How's that going? I mean, I know the team trainer, Kirk Landrum, he does a great job, getting your hand padded and taped up every Friday. So how do you feel the process is going, considering the treatment and therapy that you've received?
It's going good. It's about well now, but the process, we had to ice it for a couple weeks, multiple times a day for a couple weeks. I went and got it x-rayed. They said it was cracked, and then I went Monday to see Dr. Burgess, and he said I could play. And when he said I could play, it gave me like an extra boost of energy.
That's good stuff. So it really wasn't like an actual break. It's more like kind of like a fracture or something like that. Okay, well, hey, it's not the best of situation, but hey, it could have always been worse. But I mean, I believe tough as you are, even if it would have been broken, you still been out there playing. that's with coach's permission, of course. But coach, I know you're always going to look out for the best interest and for your players. So that's always a good thing. Now, Kye, I have to ask you: is there any pressure to perform, considering you're the coach's kid?
I mean, there's always pressure, like being a freshman playing, listening to all the people saying about being a coach's kid. But in the game, I just tune them out, and there's always pressure, and I just play like it's backyard football.
That's good. I mean, there's, when you think about it, there's always, pressure, peer pressure. In high school, you hear, certain things. It's just because he's the coach's kid. But I mean, one thing I can say about you, Coach Braddock, you're a very fair man. You're a very fair coach. You want to. I mean, I know Kyle, your son, but on the field, you're gonna treat him the same way you treat all the other players, and that's a good thing. That's something you really don't find in a lot of coaches. Even the stuff that I've seen over the years, I've seen some coaches have their kid on the field like your kid ain't ready to play yet.
Well, I look forward to this day, and I got another young man, Juicy. He's with the Glade Hornets. Had a big win last night, but show him a little love. I look forward to this day to be able to coach my kid or my kids, and it's it has its challenges. But one thing about it, we err on the other side. I'm the last one saying put him in. We want to make sure he's ready. But of course, I don't hear those naysayers. They not going. They wouldn't dare say anything to me. They know better than anything like that. But my message to that or to anybody would be: will you pick teams and tell me who you want? I'll give you first pick. You know what I'm saying? And he's mine, and I love him, and I am prejudiced toward him, but he's a tough kid and a good player, and he's always been that way. And like I said, we'll pick teams, and I'll give you first pick. You tell me who you want. And that's kind of the motto. So I'm proud of him, proud of his toughness. When I'm the one that has to be level-headed, you know me. When I have to be level-headed, him and his mama's, he didn't realize it was fractured good yet, and they were about can he play. I said just hold on a minute, Will. Let's get this worked out. Will just be patient. So, but it's been good. He's done good. He can handle it. He's a lot more mature than I was at that age, and he can handle all that stuff and the pressure of being a ninth grader actually playing. And we got a few young kids playing, about 4 or 5 ninth graders. They're a good group of kids, and good players as well.
To be honest, Coach, and I was, at the start of the season and I hadn't really looked at the roster all that good, but when I noticed, first game or so, the way he was playing, I looked at the roster. I'm like, man, this guy's a freshman playing like this. I mean, imagine when he, gets to be, junior and senior. I mean, Coach, he might grow into a linebacker.
Yeah, well, that very possibly may be his true position if you want to know the truth. But he's he's pretty athletic, so we need some athletic guys in the secondary, and he's having to play there for us. Kye's always been a physical kid. As a little toddler running around, he's running and tackling, and I mean he come into this world being kind of all boy, rough and tough. He never come crying to his parents with other kids. They rough him up, whatever the case was, and it's helping him now. It's helping him excel in high school right now.
That's good stuff. Well, that's going to wrap it up for NEJ Tiger Talk. Thank you, Coach Braddock and Kye, for stopping by, and congratulations again on earning the Scenic Productions LLC Week 6 Player of the Game recognition, and best of luck to you, both of you head into division play. And huge thank you to Walker's Dairy Bar for welcoming our broadcast and treating us to a delicious lunch. And a special thank you to Southeastern Baptist College, Keys Automotive Service, and Flicka's Tax Service for supporting our broadcast. And also follow Scenic Productions LLC on Facebook at Scenic Productions LLC, and also on Instagram at Scenic_Productions LLC, and also on Twitter at Scenic Films Keys, that's Keys. And I'm the voice of the Northeast Jones Tigers, Kensley Keys, signing off, and God bless.
Hey, this is Zach Rogers, defensive tackle for the Northeast Jones Tigers. Thank you for listening to this broadcast brought to you by Scenic Productions, LLC.
This broadcast is brought to you by